Hi, this is Moyna Bass Fishes, and I'm Jim Moyna. This is more or less Jim does some maintenance in this video. So what I'm going to do is just recommend to check and tighten all of your motor mounting bolts on that mount the motor to the jack plate and the jack plate to the transom. And the reason why you want to do that is they can actually slightly loosen, and when they loosen and you go out in big water, and if they're not tight on there, in a few cases I've heard stories of guys losing the entire motor off of their transom. So that's why you want to do it. So what I got here is a Mercury Pro XS motor. Got the Ranger boat, and I'll just show you how this is set up on this deal here. All right, so basically you got kind of three groups of mounting bolts. You got the bolts that mount the jack plate assembly to the transom. Then you got this intermediate section here with bolts. And then you got the set of bolts that mount the jack plate to the actual engine mounting bracket. So they're all 3/4 inch wrenches. So I guess 3/4 inch nuts and bolts. So you have four of these, two up top, one, here's one top one, then you got a bottom one here, and then you got, two that match on the other side. Then in the intermediate section, you got one here, one top one on the opposite side, and then there's three down below. So you got those two, and then that third one, okay, and then of course the matching ones on the other side. And then you have you got 4 bolts with this setup anyways, that mount the whole bracket jack plate bracket assembly to the transom. So you got one here, the matching one on the other side, the top bolt on the other side, and then way down below, there's one on that side, and then one down there. So, and to actually get to those, I mean, you can get to them on this side, but on the boat side, pretty simple. These are just plastic caps that held on by elastic. You got to peel these off, and that'll allow you to get into the bolt on the top side. And then to get to the bottom bolt down there, you got to take a Phillips screwdriver and remove this plastic plate here, and then that allows you access to those bottom bolts. I know it's some of the bolts are kind of tricky to get a wrench on, and actually in a couple cases I had to I mean, it's kind of tied up, just every boat's a little different, but it's kind of tricky in some cases to get access to these bolts. Anyways, something my dealer recommends, Frankie's Live Bait and Marine in Chisago City. I've had Ranger people recommend me do this, Mercury people. So it's a good idea. And again, they always come tight when you get it, but through time, they can loosen a little bit. In my case, when I did this job, right before doing this video, on several of these bolts, I put another half, 3/4 turn on them. So, and I put a lot of meat on it when I grit my teeth and put a little meat on it when I tighten it. So make sure they're good and tight. I don't think there's any way I'm strong enough to strip these bolts out. So yeah, so you want to do this, especially if you anticipate being on big water, because there's these boats take a lot of jarring on big water, and then really after you get off of big water. So it's probably a good idea. I'm not saying every day, but I'm saying just check them at like, I don't know, like I do it maybe twice over the year. So anyways, that's all I got. Over.